afternoon. I am Dr. Susan Dean, the Vice Chairperson of the Orange County Partnership. Today is Tuesday, September 16th, 2025, and the time now is 3:02 p.m. And we are in the conference room of the Partnership's office at 40 Matthew Street, Suite 108, Goshen, New York. This is a public meeting and it is being live streamed. Notice of this meeting was published in accordance with the New York Open Meetings Law. We do have a quorum. If you please just confirm your attendance. Connor Eckert.
Here.
Mary Beth Bianconi is expected to arrive a few minutes later. Mike Gilfeather.
Here.
Ryan Hawthorne.
Here.
Kurt Kaler.
Here.
Greg Peckham.
Here.
Sandy Mathis.
Here.
And Michael O'Connor is absent. And we also have staff member Cassie Garcia.
Here.
Excellent. I would like to make a motion to approve the minutes of the Orange County Partnership's July 15th, 2025 meeting, which has been distributed to the members. Any comments or corrections? Okay, so if not, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. And all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I just wondered if just a technicality, whether it should be board members present, board members remote, instead of committee.
Yes.
Just that one change. Okay.
Subject to that change.
Subject to, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
For that keen eye.
All right, so the motion carried with that one change. All right, so for the president's report, we invite Connor Eckert to please share
Sure.
comments.
So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming in and coming in person. It's exciting to see you all, and I know Mary Beth is behind us, as is Mike O'Connor. I think he's on a utility pole somewhere. So here today, I want to give you a brief update. So quickly on the economic development front, in your packet you'll see we included a handful of project announcements. So this month we announced a project by the name of Garanet Pharmaceuticals, as you all know by now. It is a $50 million investment to build what will be the largest chlorhexidine gluconate antiseptic manufacturing facility in the world at Stewart Airport. So we announced that with the governor. Tremendous win, and I think it validates our thesis that we can compete in these really high-value, competitive sectors. And we competed with the suburb of Dallas, Texas, and Madison, Wisconsin for this project. And we edged it out for a few reasons. One, it was labor talent driven, so we included Dr. Christine Young and our partners in higher education at this table to help court them. And frankly, we also got a direct call. The governor called the company directly, Governor Hochul, and made an appeal to locate in New York State. So those two, I think, critical variables helped push us over the top. So exciting win. And we will be in front of the planning board within the next month or so. And then they want to break ground end of Q1. So that'll be local labor construction. It'll be 100 to 150 full-time jobs, average salary around $70,000 to $75,000 a year, so high-paying advanced pharmaceutical jobs. And a couple of shout-outs, one being Central Hudson for being with us at the table when we needed to answer power questions, Dr. Susan Dean helping us in the pharma world, so really exciting win, and I think that the first of many. Separately, we announced last week a company by the name of Jeter Dreamfields, so they are one of the larger cannabis processing operators in the country. They have close to 1,000 employees across the United States. They will be operating a 55,000 square foot advanced cannabis processing facility in the city of Middletown. We're looking at hundreds of jobs. In fact, they're hiring a GM right now. It's posted for $200,000 a year. So advanced manufacturing, GMP processes, hyper secure, no odors, no retail, only processing, only manufacturing. So those are two very recent announcements. On the administrative side, Leadership Orange. So as tradition, many of our staff members go to Leadership Orange. It's the premier training program for talent in the region, and Lucas Arache, our new director of business attraction, is going to be joining that program, so we're excited about that. Company vehicles, so for the purposes of the minutes, I know we corresponded via email and got a quorum and a consensus via email, but we did agree to a lease for a Kia Telluride, which needs to make its way in the minutes, Cassie. And then lastly, on the administrative front, we are looking at alternative insurance options for our staff. Currently, we have MVP. We're looking at a new plan that effectively it costs the partnership marginally, more dollars, right? So from I believe $2,500 right now we pay to $8,500, but the quality of care is significantly better. The deductible is significantly lower. It's a national plan as opposed to a regional plan, and we see it as an employee retention tool in lieu of bonuses, right? As an authority outside of the contract, bonus, end of year bonuses are very difficult to do. We see as in lieu of bonuses and investing in our people, making sure we have high quality healthcare that really doesn't break the bank for us. So more to come on that, but I just wanted to make the board aware that we're looking at switching plans. And happy to share additional information on that as we move through that process. Now, outreach and education, it was a busy month. What we started doing, and we had our first meeting, and it's simple but impactful. We are now holding monthly economic development team meetings, and what I mean by that is we're bringing all of the local IDAs, local economic development folks, partners in workforce training, and our county level partners around this table once a month to talk about what's going on at the ground level, what should we be collaborating on, how can we support local communities in their economic development efforts. Just a neat piece of collaboration that is new for us, but we're hosting these meetings here and really focused on assisting our municipal IDAs with managing their IDAs, with facilitating projects, with being the best IDA they possibly can be, and building a team environment. So we're doing that now. MHR EDC, so the Governor's Modesto Regional Council, I'm fortunate to be a voting member on there. We had our first meeting earlier this month, which was highly productive. New York State Economic Development Council, I'm a board member there at the state level association. We have an upcoming board meeting that's kind of focused on statewide economic development policy. It's a board meeting and an overnight event in upstate New York, so I'll be attending that in November. And then separately, a good month for construction activity. We had a groundbreaking ceremony at 700 South Street in the city of Newburgh for a 400,000 square foot speculative building with Brookfield Properties. So it was well attended by local officials, construction leadership. So nice groundbreaking.
What kind of usage will that be?
So that will be a speculative warehouse. So it's a shell building that has the optionality to accommodate a logistics user, or it's a box with infrastructure that can accommodate a manufacturer too. So we have, instead of the shell ready site, we have the move-in ready building. So it's an exciting tool in our tool belt, so we can be kind of the fastest in the market to accommodate some of these demands. Additionally, we attended it was a ribbon cutting for Resorts World Hudson Valley. They expanded their kitchen presence. They had no food and beverage operation. So people were leaving the Newburgh Casino and going elsewhere. This allows us to maintain critical mass at the casino. It's a high-end restaurant. We saw Kurt there and Susan and many others. That was a good event. Not at the casino, that is, but at the restaurant. And also we had staff members attend Orange Bank and Trust new headquarters, which was exciting and a beautiful addition to the community, I might add.
Yeah, thank you.
How many facilities is that in Orange County now?
Well, we have 6 in Orange County, and what you're referring to is we redesigned our branch in the headquarters, and that is where we have a history room there now as part of it. So it's a lot of our bank artifacts, but it really ties into a lot of the Middletown history. So you see a lot of stuff going back to horse and buggy stuff, but old machines that are used in banking over the years and good stuff there. So you go in and just a little fun stuff there that you go in just like you're at Ellis Island. You put in somebody's name or a company's name, and there's hundreds of documents that have been copied and are there for viewing. So it's a little bit of a fun history
very much
moment there.
Very much. Congratulations on that. So speaking of engagements, we find it important to continually spread our message and build relationships locally and across the region and frankly across the state. So this month, or rather last month, we presented at E&E at the legislature, so Education and Economic Development Committee. We give an update on what we're doing and what's exciting us and projects in the pipeline, so productive meeting. We have upcoming, I'll be moderating a panel at Steve Gross's annual Economic Development Summit based on what's soon to be made in Orange County, so the future outlook of sector growth in Orange County, which I'm excited about. I'll be a panelist at what's Leadership Orange is calling Leadership Orange 2.0, which is effectively when they bring people back who have gone through the course, anyone who's gone through the course, and it's kind of a one-day conference, networking, and panels and breakout sessions, so I'm so excited about that. We have a presentation to the Hudson Gateway Association of Realtors coming up in October, which is what we've done the past few years, but it's great to just reinforce our relationship with the Commercial Real Estate Association. And then we also have an O&R presentation coming up on December 11th, and that's something we've done over the past few years to just give the utility a sense of what the sector we're seeing out there, demands, industrial real estate demands on megawatts and then natural gas demand. So it's good to just keep in touch with some of those folks. Mary Beth, hi. It's good to see you.
Sorry.
So on the event front, tonight we're going to Pattern for Progress, which is exciting. The Chamber has a power event with the two utility CEOs, which is coming up in September, which is great. And then in October I'll be attending with Mary Beth and Sandy the Sullivan County Partnership Award as well, our regional partner. So to move to investor update, we're looking at a 12.4% increase in private investment. This year, that's roughly broken down 50-50 between new investors and folks increasing their investments. So $70,000 of new investors, and then another 70 of increasing investors. So we're seeing people come to us and look to increase their presence, increase their participation in the organization. That's very exciting to see. And the investors that dropped off last year are naturally coming back, which is great. We're not so much going after them, they're coming back and kind of seeing some of the momentum organizationally in our events and some of the announcements, and then looking to come back into the fold. So exciting, and kudos to Cassie and the team for helping manage relationships and make sure everybody leaves our office with a smile. That's what you guys do. Events. So September 4th, we had our EBG. Susan Dean was there, which was great to see you there. It was our largest ABG, so we had around 150 people, and those events normally run 80 to 120. We had each mayor from our cities in Orange County, so it was the city of Newburgh, Middletown, and Port Jervis, focused on revitalization techniques, active strategies that are working to help drive growth. I mean, Susan, you were there. Was some of your takeaways, in fact?
It was very engaging and exciting to hear of a lot of the development that is happening in existing spaces. I mean, there were things like potential for cruise ships coming through Newburgh and waterfront, and then just the visual of, or this concept of exploring how to improve that waterfront area. It was impressive.
And some of the takeaways are, there were folks in the room who perhaps only do projects in Newburgh. Well, they met the Port Jervis mayor and the Middletown mayor, and now we had meetings with those mayors, where now they want to invest in those communities as well. So it was a good introduction to what's happening in these communities, and quietly, there's probably close to $1 billion of investment across all three communities. Now, it's not publicized, it's again very quiet, it's housing, it's infrastructure, it's industrial, but it's happening and it's exciting, and I think the mayors were able to tell their story in a dynamic way. Upcoming on October 7th, the Bell Women of Achievement Investor Breakfast. We are excited to have hit our 10% over revenue goal in the event already. We've got some time as well, and we're driving up attendance, but it's naturally coming in. People are excited about the event, so that should be a banner event as well. October 21st, we have a QPM coming up at Newburgh Brewing, and we're approaching 100 RSVPs already, so quite excited about that one. And then, of course, we have our December annual event coming up, which we're thinking about, which we're in fact kind of fundraising for now. We have people reaching out asking to reserve their sponsorships months in advance, which is good. And we'll be honoring Atlas Security, of course, Quality of Life, ADG Architects, Spirit of Innovation for their kind of globalized approach to architecture and client services, and then Golden Shovel, to be determined. That's something that I think we'll decide over the next few months, depending on how the market moves in certain ways with projects in the ether, but more to come on that. And with that, busy month and a half, exciting month, and that's it for my presentation. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Okay. Mary Beth, you feel comfortable to go back to the financial? We did skip over.
Oh.
Or we can come back to you also.
Okay.
We punted it until.
Oh,
Yes.
I thought you were gonna do it, Connor.
I know.
We can. I don't know what Thursday's going to talk about.
Connor, did you send your new employee to the Vinnie Economic Development?
I did.
Association?
Yeah, I did.
What was his reaction to that?
So Lucas went, as did Cassie, as did Sarah.
Oh, no, they did, oh, you did, good.
Yeah.
Good.
And I think what I heard was we came back with some new ideas. We actually implemented some of the ideas. There was a good foundational learning. I mean, Cassie, would you care to share some of your experience?
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest things we came back with was the need for talent acquisition. In the county, so that's something that Sarah's gonna start implementing, or we've already started a little bit, but when she gets back from maternity.
Did they share any examples around the country of like incentive programs to attract talent? Like outright grants to people? Did they give any strategies in that, or just the need to do that?
I don't recall,
Okay.
but I think just the need,
Okay.
Nothing's standing out to me.
But
But
you
it
do
was-
see,
yeah, it was
you
very
do
bad.
see, Montana will offer a relocation.
No, and I've seen more, like, it's really out west, and Boise's done it, some of those areas that were drawn from San Francisco and LA, COVID, they actually started, and they've maintained these really innovative programs and they've started to address community recreation, other things to attract families. The schools have gotten a little extra attention, particularly private schools. If you don't have, they'll develop a private school for executives. And so I think it's an important strategy, as people can almost, I wouldn't want to run a company today and have people not coming to the office, but that's Susan's ballgame. But I think that's worth a strategy, because you have great quality of life here, so you can attract people here, especially in more rural areas. That then connects to housing, then it connects to living situations. They go hand in hand.
Absolutely.
I talked as long as I could, Mary Beth.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say, we can come
I
back.
have to be honest, I'm just gonna go through the notes that we
okay.
get. So the balance sheet, working capital, we currently have $796,241.53, which is a capital ratio of 5.08. This means we have $5.08 in assets for every $1 of liabilities. This puts us in a very strong position. Our current total checking, savings, and investments is $745,342.18. This is down from last year, but again, as folks will recall, we had expenses that accounted for that. And our total receivables are $282,841.55 as of the end of August. 57,000 or so dollars of this is total accounts receivable. And we do have per our policy, anything over 90 days goes into the uncollectible. When that revenue is realized, it gets turned back into the positive side. Private investment is up substantially this year. Real kudos to Connor, Cassie, and the staff. We are at $879,822.80 through the end of August. That is up 12.4% over last year. So that is really exceptional. Our net ordinary income through the end of the year is $275,826.28. This is up from a net ordinary income loss of $41,382.04 from last year. We're operating at a healthy 23.39 net ordinary profit margin based on net ordinary income. I think those are the highlights.
All right, thank you. I want to make note that the August 2025 financial statements were distributed to the board. I'd like to make a motion to accept the treasurer's financial report. Do I have a second? Thank you. Any opposed? Okay, motion carried. So next I'd like to invite Kurt Taylor to provide an industry update.
Okay. For everybody doesn't know, I'm the president of Freak Electric. We are a union electrical contractor in the Hudson Valley area. So I have a little report here. So since 2023, we've seen a slowdown in medium to large private sector construction projects. Here in the Hudson Valley, the projects we target are down about 35% compared to the prior years of 2018 to 2022. The one bright spot is the public work, where infrastructure and institutional projects have stayed steady and probably ticked up a little bit. But as you can imagine, the competition on those projects are very intense. Coming into 2025, we started to see more private sector interest, but little has turned into actual construction so far. Some reasons are cost along with local and state challenges. Additionally, labor, material prices keep climbing while projects are still tied to budgets written within a year to 2 years. On top of that, tariffs are keeping us on the edge of our seats when it comes to commodities. One sector that really shifted for us downward is the semiconductors. For decades, one facility in particular in this area has given us steady work with maintenance, new construction, and a lot of retooling projects. Today, that work is basically gone. That facility has shifted their priorities and paused most activity that we once benefited from. We've seen this sector's growth move north mainly above Albany. So on the flip side, we're seeing new opportunities, quantum computing, cannabis cultivated facilities, and data centers. Also, the investments we made over the years into smaller projects and service work continue to pay off. Those relationships grow year after year, and they give us a reliable base of work. Distribution and logistic warehouses have slowed down somewhat, but there's renewed interest in similar buildings designed for manufacturing uses, such as what Connor has been mentioning. The labor side is still one of the biggest challenges for everyone. Mainly highly skilled tradesmen, leaders, and project managers are retiring, often all at once. The focus now must be on building the next generation, and this is where we've been proactive, working to stay ahead of the curve on training and workforce development so we're ready for the future. Looking ahead, we can see that our industry is starting to come back from the bottom we hit. What's uncertain is how quickly it will return to the levels we once considered normal.
I'm curious, good report, interesting, and I think it goes without saying that you're really a leading indicator of what's going on in the economy here. Data centers, what's your take on that? I know there's a lot of energy involved, but it seems like it's a very important part of the future.
In the past, data centers used to be a big manpower construction project. Nowadays, they're getting more efficient. They're prefabbing certain parts of these centers off-site, and we're plugging them together on-site. And the data centers aren't as favorable in New York State, so we don't see them everywhere because they're heavy infrastructure and low workforce generators. Right now, we see them in the southern part of New York State, in Rockland County area, Orangeburg area. Highly dense with data centers. We'd love to see them elsewhere. There's other areas, between this county and other neighboring counties that can support it. But again, they're not big workforce generators.
Thereafter or during the actual?
Full-time, not construction, full-time.
Okay.
And then that's the public policy, we'll say conundrum where we certainly need data centers to accommodate AI and cloud growth, but, because they use so much infrastructure and have very limited, economic impact by way of job creation, some communities very much write off data centers entirely. Because, if a data center needs 100 megawatts, you can do data center 100 megawatts, 50 jobs, or 100 megawatts, semiconductor, pharma, 1,000 jobs. So the orders of magnitude are kind of shifting in a unique way.
And the state doesn't want.
They're very water intensive.
Yeah.
Very, very, very water intensive, and there's not a lot of places that can support the water. And the water is used for cooling.
But you can't take it out of the Hudson and put it back in.
That's probably the best, right? Because one of the issues is you end up with a thermal issue. Once you've heated up all this water, there are actually discharge standards for hot water in the environment, particularly for cold water fisheries.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not a lot of place. So you need that magic combination of lots of power, lots of water, and a place that doesn't care whether they get jobs or not. Right? That's pretty much. That's
alchemy,
Once
right?
it complex-
Yes,
Yeah.
Complex equation.
Similar in nature is this quantum computing, and
Yeah.
specifically
Yeah.
IBM has this right now in Dutchess County, and it's very impressive. And it's not gonna replace computers and phones, it's gonna support the cloud infrastructure, I guess you can say. They don't consume as much power as a normal data rack in a data center does. So that's interesting.
Mhm.
So, we might see more of that in the area.
Mhm.
That has great growth there, because right now, they're just at the tip of the iceberg. what they're doing with quantum computing right now in Poughkeepsie.
Sure.
And there's also more jobs associated
jobs,
with quantum computing.
And
Yes.
we were on a call with a regional consortium that's trying to position Hudson Valley as Quantum Valley. So there's a whole supply chain to it, and there's R&D and innovation kind of coming out of Westchester. and
A lot of
Poughkeepsie.
trickle
So
down.
unique opportunities here, yeah, in quantum medicine.
Yes.
Curious on the supply chain side of things as to, I know you're seeing the same,
They've
it's gotten better, but it's still,
We've seen the worst.
how is that, are people still not maybe taking that into consideration as they kind of approach you for kind of project work and all
The larger projects that we like to target, they are.
that? Okay.
They are. In fact, sometime before a project will come out for us to bid, most times we like to engage with them early on, and they'll provide us a purchase order to purchase gear, or we'll help support them so they can get the major long lead equipment items.
Mhm.
So it times out, so when the project requires it, it's being delivered.
Sure.
But the times have gotten better on equipment, not where it used to be, but they've gotten better.
Prices haven't.
No, that's a fact, that's a fact, and that was the one comment in my report there, that tariffs, because commodities play a
Yeah.
big role in it, it's hard to speculate nowadays. You can probably go day to day, but you can't go week to week on the same number.
Well, thank you so much, Kurt, for sharing. I know this has
Thank you.
been, it's a wonderful opportunity for us to learn about different industry and from the perspective of industry leaders. So we do appreciate that and appreciate your sharing. I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session to discuss the proposed acquisition, sale, or lease of real property, or the proposed acquisition of securities or sale or exchange of securities held by such public body, but only when publicity would substantially affect the value thereof. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion carried. Waiting for live stream.
Good to go?
Okay,
Good to go, Lonnie?
so, awesome. We're back from executive session. The time now is 4:09 PM. No actions or votes were taken in executive session, and therefore no minutes were taken. For new business, the Finance and Audit Committee met to discuss the renewal of the M&T Bank CD and to review and recommend the 2026 proposed budget. The ABO reporting deadline for the budget is 11/1. Unless there is any other new or old business for this meeting, I make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any opposed? Motion carried. We are adjourned. The time is 4:10 PM.